Hi, I'm Tom. You might know me as that nutcase online that's recording an album in an oil tank. I've been making content on YouTube for over 7 years now, mostly in the form of covers, but more recently in the form of original music. Since starting to publicly document my experience recording an album in the engine down oil tanks, I've gained far more traction than I ever could have hoped. Mostly on TikTok and Instagram, but we're about to hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, which I consider to be more of an achievement personally. You know, I grew up on this platform, it's where I want to make it, really. So this is fantastic news, and I'm flattered by all the support. I feel like I've been given an opportunity to make this my life's work, but in order to actually do that, I need your help. Projects like You and Your Absence are expensive. Really, really expensive. Both financially and in terms of the immense time investment required to take on something like this. Part of the reason the album wasn't released in 2022 when we finally wrapped production on it was because I had to work a full-time job to support myself after I graduated from my master's. This left me with little to no time to finalise the project. Indeed, the only reason the project was possible in the first place was because it was my practical project for my master's degree. Without the resources provided by my university, there is zero way I could have taken on this project on my own. While I'm thankful for this, I don't want to be beholden to anyone. Not a label, not a sponsor, not an academic institution. I want to keep making groundbreaking, first-of-its-kind work, and I've come to the conclusion that the way to do that is to start a Patreon. I personally have mixed feelings about this. Recording at Inch and Down was a dream of mine for a long time that I would have pursued whether or not there was an audience for it. It was a project that I took on for myself first and foremost. And I don't want to ask you for your money without offering you something in return. For that reason, I've come up with the following plan to transform this YouTube channel into something worth returning to, not just for this one project, but for all of my work moving forward. So here's the deal. While the album is still being rolled out, the focus of this channel and its corresponding Patreon will continue to be my work at Inch and Down. Subscribing to the Patreon not only supports me and hopefully eventually recouping the cost of this project, but it will also grant you exclusive access to behind-the-scenes audio, video, pictures, etc. that we captured during our recording sessions but didn't quite make the cut in terms of any of the official music or indeed the short form content that I've been posting on social media. This is also going to include audio from my first visit to the tanks where you can hear me play with the reverb for the first time. This is where the earliest prototypes for the songs that ended up being on the album can be found. I also want to share my failed experiments. Sounds that I made during this exploratory period that didn't work, but that set the limitations for the material that did end up working to be produced. If you're interested in the process and the logistics of pulling off a ridiculous stunt like this, then the Patreon's the place to go. I also want to build a community around this work. For this reason, Patreon subscribers will be given access to a Patreon-exclusive Discord server. This is where you'll be able to chat to me directly, ask questions, and give feedback on content before it's seen by the general public. I also want to make more long-form content on this YouTube channel specifically. This is going to take a few different forms. Back when I was originally recording the album, I wrote several scripts for a documentary/video essay series documenting the process of doing it. Now, I only ever planned to do this if the album did well. The idea was that this would not only chronicle the process of writing and recording music for a space like Inch and Down, but it would also look at the tank's fascinating history in a more in-depth manner than I'm ever able to achieve with 90-second TikTok videos. I would love to make this a reality, but it's another thing that would take considerable effort and expense to achieve. And this is effort that I can't really justify investing unless I have some sort of financial backing. I also want to feature other interesting acoustic spaces. You know, Inch and Down has never been the only item on my bucket list of spaces that I dream of recording in someday. I want to go on more adventures, more pilgrimages to these places that are just lying disused, waiting for someone to turn them into a musical instrument. You can think of this along the lines of Tom Scott's Amazing Places series, but with more of a direct focus on the musical utility of these spaces. For right now, I don't have any tiers or anything. I'm just going to put the minimum donation at £1, and then if you want to donate more, you can donate more. If you have any ideas for tiers, let me know. I truly believe that we can build something amazing together. You know, I want to make this my life. I just can't do it without your help. So to sign off, thank you all so much for the support so far. It's been beyond my wildest dreams. I really want to strike while the iron's hot and, stick the landing on this thing. Speaking of which, the second single from the album is coming out soon. I've been having a nightmare getting it to be published on streaming services, and this is because, a lot of the songs end up with this long reverb tail at the end, so that you can hear the full effect of the reverb. The problem is that on the music distribution company that I use, they perceive this as silence, and so they reject it every time. So it's a struggle every time to actually get it uploaded. So yeah, keep an eye out. I'll keep you posted on that. The whole album is coming out very soon. Like I said, I'm aiming for mid to late March. It just really depends on how much this becomes a problem, I'll see you all very soon. Thank you all so much again. Have a great rest of your day.